everyone, we're here at Coombe Bluff where the Salt River wild horses still roam wild and free on the lower Salt River. It's very lucky that the Salt River wild horses are still here today, and it wasn't always planned like that. So back in 2015, our Forest Service here wanted to remove all of the Salt River wild horses. And of course, having documented them and loving them, we absolutely did not want that to happen. So we worked very hard to work with the forest and with our state on solutions that were a win-win for everyone. So in 2017, a state bill was passed that now protects the Salt River wild horses from harassment, killing, and slaughter. So this bill made it possible for us to work under the Arizona State Ag Department to manage these horses humanely. So the Salt River Wild Horse Management Group has 100 volunteers, and we have different programs that address each aspect of humane management. Yeah, that's a great question. So there are many different aspects of humane management, because in the wild a lot of things will happen. Maybe you'll have an orphan because the mom died, or maybe a horse will break their legs, or they could also get stuck in cattle guards, barbed wire, they can get hit by cars. So all of those things have to be addressed. So we have an emergency program where we can rescue Salt River wild horses that are in a bad situation. But to prevent all those bad situations, we also have a road patrol program. We have a fencing program to maintain the fencing so they don't get on the road. We have a facility where all of our rescued horses go and where we fix them up. So that's one aspect of it, and it's very important. But another important aspect of humane management is to control the population, because the Forest Service is most afraid of a wild horse population growing out of control and for there being too many horses for the small environment they live in. So the Salt River wild horses have 20,000 acres in their habitat, and through our humane fertility control program, we make sure the population is reducing without ever removing one horse. That's very important to us, and it's very important to the public, and we're glad that all of the Salt River wild horses are still here today because of our important management programs. Unfortunately, they're not. So there aren't that many wild horses left in Arizona, and there's a beautiful herd in northeastern Arizona called the Alpine wild horses, and they live in the Apache forest. Now that forest is managed by the Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest, and unfortunately, their intent is to remove all of the Alpine wild horses, leave none of them, and that is very, very sad. They have dubbed those wild horses unauthorized livestock, even while there's so much historic evidence that those wild horses have been there throughout the centuries, and they live in this beautiful area, and it's called the Coronado Trail. So one of the very early explorers came through there and left horses behind. So because they are so historic, we are very, very hard at work to try to protect this herd, and we have offered the same type of management as we do here for the Salt River wild horses. So unfortunately, the Apache-Sitgreaves Forest Service wants to remove all of the horses, and they are doing it fast. They have already removed 150 horses, and we've worked very hard to try and find good homes for them, but it's not always possible to find that many good homes. So sadly, there's also been some terrible people shooting these wild horses, and they have shot and killed over 50 of them. So sadly, 200 Alpine wild horses are already gone. There's only 200 of them left, and now it's a real battle to preserve at least some of them. So we want you, our followers and our supporters, to stay tuned with us and to call your legislators and to be in this fight for us, because we need an army to save these beautiful historic Alpine wild horses, just like we did with the Salt River wild horses here. And here it's a win-win because the population is stabilized, people can come here and watch the beautiful wild horses. It's an enormous recreational and economic resource now for our area. So it's a win-win for the Forest Service, it's a win-win for the public, and most of all, it's a win-win for the horses that the American public cares about so much. So please join us, stick with us, share, like, and most of all, call your legislators. We want to thank you so much for your support.